local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person. You don't understand how all this works. So let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any, you can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you. Polite about
it's just not the polite way to have sex.
That's just really one way to have sex that's polite, and it's to say, ma'am, or sir, or non-binary person, would you like to enjoy some making love with me? And then if they answer yes, then you mount that person and you move back and forth politely, and then you kind of finish it up and you say, that was great, and then you never mention it again. That's the right way to have sex, okay?
And folks, and that's why we don't do any sort of sex advice or sex stuff on this show, because there's none to be given.
I am wise!
I want you to write the polite sex book, like the proper polite method.
I just said it. How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do they do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO?
Hey everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. Glad you're here. It's that time of the week. It's Wednesday night. It's actually an early Street Fight. For those of you watching on the stream, some of you might be new. You might not have seen us before because you go to work or whatever it is. We already have someone in the comments saying that, what?
You go to work?
Yeah, you go to work and shit.
It's still 8:30.
Yeah, well, some people can't hang out at 11 at night, you know? They're having their glass of buttermilk right now with a dash of pepper and getting ready for bed, putting on their isotoner slippers and, getting ready to get up early in the morning and go to work. There's people listening to this at work right now. You can watch Street Fight on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Find us, like us, subscribe to us, comment on us, spread the word, spread this mess across the U.S. That's what we're trying to do here. We have been doing the show for 9 years now. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quimby. We're the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. And we are here only because of the support from wonderful listeners like you. And if you want to help us continue on this mission to flatten all hierarchies across the entire flat earth, head over to patreon.com/streetfightradio. Sign up for that monthly subscription. Get access to bonus zines, audio, and video. Or head to store.streetfightradio.com. We sell zines. We sell stickers, pins, magnets, and shirts as well. The brand new Learn Worm All Connected pre-order. The fundraiser for Prison Health News is going on right now, and you can secure yourself one. Skull t-shirt order has been placed. Those will be coming at the end of the month. Thank you for being here, Brian.
It's election day.
Give you a thank you.
It's the day after election day. We still don't know who the effing president is, but I voted, so I did what I was supposed to do. You know?
Yeah, it's not your problem anymore.
Exactly. I'm going to brunch tomorrow.
I'm having brunch. I'm going to have 2 brunches.
I am going to have brunch every day for the next 6 weeks.
Well, I think tomorrow I'm going to do probably a yoga, like silent meditation retreat all day long.
But it's not done yet.
No, but it's done for me.
Trump, yes, it's done for you. Yeah. We voted this time, and it didn't feel good.
I had to vote in person because those mail-in ones are not getting counted.
Listen to this motherfucker. Do you know? Tell him for really real why you voted in person. First, before you go into your fucking political, oh yeah, this shit's not gonna tell him why you really voted in person.
So I had mail-in ballots. I live like right around the corner from the Board of Elections, and I was going to go drop it off in the morning. I wanted to see what it was going to be like on election day because I thought it'd be a madhouse. And I got my ballot out. I looked at it, unfolded it, read. The very first vote was for president. I laid it on the ground. I read the candidates. I put my pen down and immediately filled in the bubble for Donald Trump.
Voting for Donald John Trump.
Yeah.
That's just a white man. That's like a white man reflex.
It was.
Actually. Yeah, you're just a white man. You see Donald J. Trump and you're like, meow. It's hard. It was hard for me.
I have to fight that internal patriarchy and misogynoir and the latent homophobia. It builds up in your system, and it just, as soon as I saw that name, thought of Trump.
It was hard for me to press the screen to tell you that with my stylus, my free stylus. So I should have kept that stylus. Did you keep your stylus?
No, I already have one.
I know, but they gave you a nice stylus.
That's true. No,
and they were just going to throw them away.
Everybody just threw those things away.
I know. Nobody kept the stylus. I'm sure there's some poll worker that has like 1,000 stylus sitting in his house right now that he's like sanitizing.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, here's a little green stylus on Facebook Marketplace. I can't believe that was our solution. In Ohio, our COVID solution was stylus. So they gave each of us a stylus and we voted. I like stylus. I want to get one now.
Really?
I want to become a stylus guy. You know? I like the feeling of having a pointer.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but those got like laughed out of the realm of possibility. Like the Windows phones early, I used to have a stylus on my phone, and people made fun of me constantly for it.
I mean, I would make fun of you if you had one now, but I want one so I can just. It feels good. It's got a good feel to it. It's like when It's like when Gwen was a little girl and she got a pointing stick where she got to point at the wall and pretend like she was teaching. That's how I felt with the stylus. I felt like, oh, look at me. I'm not touching nothing. I'm just boing, 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 boing,
Right.
you know?
Right.
There's really nothing to vote for in this election at all. It was a real letdown.
Police Review Board?
I voted for that.
All right. You didn't think that was worth voting for?
I think I vote. No, I can't vote for that.
Why?
I didn't vote for that. So,
The Community Review Board for the police?
yeah, I don't live in Columbus.
Oh.
I live in Grandview, where we have a little thing called Community Review of the Police. They don't pull you over if you live in the community.
Right. I actually had, for the first time, though, I had a weird moment because I have a house now. The stuff I voted on will actually affect my rent. Like there was a mental health bill that they're going to put funding into mental health and addiction and stuff like that. And they did the math, and it will make my mortgage go up like $10 or $15 a month, I think. But that was the first time I've ever actually, I've ever had the feeling of like I'm actually volunteering to pay more money right now. I mean, I hand out 20s at the freeway exits all the time. I'm not saying that it matters, but it just gave me a new perspective of like when these people are like shutting down school levies or shutting down, mental health stuff, it's most likely for probably $11 to $14 a month.
$15. It's the same as how when I was growing up, I could go rent movies. My parents would let us rent movies like every Friday and Saturday, but fucking never get a pay-per-view. You're never allowed to get a pay-per-view because that comes on a bill at the end of the month, and they'd be hot about $4 that they were going to spend anyway. Because I'd be like, let's get it on the pay-per-view. It's in.
Right. It's here already.
It's here.
It's in the
I
house.
can get it. I don't have to go fucking fight with somebody else to get my hand on Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's already there.
Were pay-per-view movies competitively priced?
They were like $2.99. I thought.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, even if they were $10, it's like you didn't have to drive.
Man, my parents could never risk anything extra. The cable bill got shut off constantly. That was the one where it was just like, well, you got other shit to do, don't you? Like that's what you get when it's like, why is the TV shut off? And it's like, why are you asking me these questions?
What are you trying to watch TV for? Like,
why is a kid with a bike, a skateboard, and a PlayStation asking me this question?
Yelling at you?
Yeah.
Yelling at you?
Yeah.
Fucking, they didn't pay the cable bill and they're just fucking screaming at you.
Well, yeah, I'm reminding them of how broke they are.
Yeah. And you're probably the reason they're broke.
That's also,
you're wearing some fucking $80 shoes that your dad is furious about.
No. He would only give me money towards clothes. He would never buy clothes.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
My parents would be like, every once in a while, they'd give us $150 and go buy clothes. And I'd be like, man, this is one outfit here. I would come home with 2 outfits for $150. And they were like, you'd have thought the money would go further. And I'm like, well, you'd have thought wrong.
What? You go and shop for irregular Wrangler jeans, like for $11. That's not. I can't wear that. Like when you were a kid, you didn't wear those though, right? Like
No.
when you were younger, you had your bell bottoms and your fucking butterfly collars and shit.
Yeah, you're just fighting your mom to get her to go buy you whatever the Rough Rider jeans or whatever they were back then. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they wore back then. My dad probably really did just wear whatever my grandma bought him. And just from knowing him, he's a square dude. He'd just throw a sweater on and feel good about it. Yeah, I mean, my voting was, I don't know, man. I live in, again, in the suburbs. Not in the suburbs, the suburbs. It's a weird place. It is a suburb because it's a neighborhood that is off of downtown, but it's also very downtown.
It's inside the outer belt.
Yeah.
It's the city to me.
Yeah, I can walk
to anything. I can go anywhere downtown on foot
What?
at a normal distance too, not a Brian distance.
Right, but also my buddy, or the guy we both know, he technically lives in Columbus, and he's probably a mile away from you
Yeah.
or less.
Yeah. So basically, like, I went over, there wasn't much of a line, right?
It's 0.
There were like probably 6 people there all together. They were filtering people in. They had little dots on the ground to stand on. And I got put in line, and I discovered my first love of the masks. Because the people in front of me and the people behind me knew who I was. Too uncomfortable to maybe get it wrong, that we just didn't have to talk to each other. Because they didn't want to be like, hey, Brian.
Did you make eye contact with him?
A little bit, but
What?
they didn't know it was me. That you can't verify unless you ask. And now people don't like to be uncomfortable, so they didn't ask.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
I can't live with that.
And then
It's
if they would have said, hey, Brian, you know what I would have done? Oh, I'm Ray. I'm actually Ray.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. I'm
Right.
listening to something here.
Right.
But I did. I keep my earbuds in anyway. My AirPods in.
Earbuds. I like that.
Yeah, I keep those in
Earbuds.
all the time, but they're not on all the time, so I can hear everybody talking. But they think I can't hear them.
Okay. Antisocial.
And yes, they were telling me that early in the morning, the line was like all the way down the street.
Oh.
But when I got there, like 10:30, no line.
Yeah.
That's my privilege. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
10:30 in the morning is like a way off time for anything. But I thought it was funny that I think all those people that woke up early to beat the lines were the ones that stood in line.
Yeah. I went at 3, and I was like, I want to go before it gets crazy after work. There was no line at all. I walked right in, got helped, and was out in a very short amount of time.
It was a very low impact. Now I see why people like voting, like as like their only bit of activism. Because man, if that was like all I had to do for real, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
Taking a Band-Aid off hurts more than that.
I know. And they gave you a stylus and a sticker. And, well, see, this is kind of a bummer about where I reside from. They do have snacks,
What?
but they make you pay for them. They got a whole
Oh,
snack
they do a booster?
table
Is it a
out-
booster?
Yeah, always with the boosters. It's like, where'd you put all the money from the big ox roast you didn't do this year? Like,
Yeah.
come on, boosters. You know, I felt like grabbing a cookie, and when they said something, I'd be like, do you know how much the yearbook for this school costs? $75. That's a $75. So you can give me an M&M cookie, thank you.
Does it have gilded edges on it?
No, it's a goddamn fucking yearbook, dude.
I'd get a second quote on that price.
Well, okay, so I got the year. It took a year to get the yearbook, but finally came a couple weeks ago. Came with a $5 off coupon for the next yearbook.
Ooh.
I'm like, that's not even money. But now now it's $60 or $70 or $65 or something. It's
Close.
When that came out of my fucking account, and I said, Katie, what the fuck is this thing that's $75 that came out of the account? Because I'm always checking the account. She was like, oh, that was a yearbook. It was $75. And I was like, this is nuts. I don't even know where the fuck any of my yearbooks are. Now will you just buy them? And then that's it. I wonder if my daughter will keep hers. And then I'll feel like a goddamn fool.
She will.
Maybe.
They're fun.
But she doesn't
They
like...
should just be they should be handed out to everybody.
Thank you.
They are fun, especially when you go back and look at them, look through all that stuff, remember all those people. I'm into it. I still like mine. Even I hated everybody, but I still like to go look at the pictures of all the people I hated.
What if they could get it done for $35 though?
Yeah, I'm sure
or
they
maybe
could.
even $25.
Yours has probably got the crocodile finish on it or something like that.
Looks like a textbook, really. I think it's like a thick boy. It's got like the textbook glossy cover.
Okay.
It says 2020. And
75. I don't remember what mine was.
let me tell you another thing about this yearbook. In the senior year, you can buy space for your kid.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that at all. I do not like that. That pressure will come to me in the form of
You got to do it.
my wife will say, we got to get
I
a
don't
whole
think
page
so.
for going. I fucking already heard it
Really?
from the kid. Look how much her parents loved her. They got the whole page for her. What are you guys thinking? How much of the page are you gonna get? And I'm like, motherfucker, you 1/4 of a page. I think you should get. I don't think anybody should get a whole page at all.
Your whole picture is one page?
It's not just a picture. You can like decorate it, like the parents.
Just buying ad space.
It is buying ad space for your kid. Like this thing, I saw this kid's mom like wrote a whole fucking beautiful soliloquy thing about wrote a long thing about their daughter and then put a couple of cute pictures of the daughter in there and then a couple drawings on the page and
No,
stuff
that's
of like
obscene.
flowers and shit. That's what I'm trying
No.
to tell you.
No.
Yeah.
No. Get it out. And if you're make them pay more so that we pay, so everyone else pays less. It shouldn't be like we're selling ad space like and it's $75. When you sell ad space, the product is free. Right? You make
Yeah.
the product free, you get your money from your advertisers.
I'm sick to death about the ad space. I'm sick to death about that amount of space being taken up by anybody. I might buy a half page, but what are you going to put in there anyway? You know?
I can't imagine she really wants that.
She fucking asked me for it already. And my wife, she wants to make school the most magical thing that ever happened. So I think we're going to have to do
I
it.
can't comment. I'm not there yet. I just don't think school's a magical place.
Hey, buddy, I agree with you.
I would say here's the money for the half page. If I'm going to have to spend the money, I'm not giving it to those fucking bloodsuckers at the PTO.
You don't want the full page?
I would give it to my kid. I'm going to say here's $80. This is what the half page would cost. I can't bring myself to fucking pay for it.
You toss them $80
Yes.
cash and you say, here's your $80.
I love
this
you.
This is the half page. You can either spend it on something cool or you can go get your half page. I'll draw pictures if you want your half page. Whatever it is that you need from me, I'll do it. But here's $80 in cash.
Right.
Because you know that's not good. Yeah. They can't hand it over. My daughter has so much money right now, she doesn't spend any of it, dude. None of it.
Yeah, I had a friend like that.
It's crazy. So anyway, I voted and then I took my walk, came home, and I was like, we'll go ahead and watch the news.
Yeah.
Turned on CNN with the wife. She is freaking.
Really?
A lot more than me, really. I mean, obviously, because I prepare for the worst thing ever to happen when America's involved.
It like, I don't know, Erica suggested turning it on, and I was like, it felt like turning on a NASCAR race. Like, I was just like, let's do this. I'm like I'm getting in my stance. I'm turning it on, and I'm like staring at shit, and just like ready to go, you know? How you watch sports?
Yeah.
It felt like more like that. Like, let's see what you got, Ohio. Come on.
Yeah.
Bring it around home.
Yeah. It's bad. The way that they do it.
It's stupid. It's the whole thing about it is that it's just a bunch of bumbling adults that are going to keep the catastrophe fucking rolling. We shouldn't expect to know on the same day. Like,
I think so, though. I feel like there's technology. We could have done this somehow. And I know we're not supposed to trust technology, but boy, I came up with this idea earlier, right? What if there was a huge Alexa type machine? Kind of like a Washington Monument size thing that could pick up voices. And then we each, in order to register to vote, we give us hey, Brian. You know what I mean? I'll say Brian Quinby, and it'll know my voice. It'll figure it all out, and then you'll say Brett Payne. And then on election day, you wake up, you walk outside, you say the name of who you want to be the president. It counts it.
No.
And it's got to be done by, you got to do that by 6 o'clock. That is an instantaneous, it'll tell you exactly who the president is.
Yeah, I actually voted in a district in 2002 or whatever, 2004, the George Bush one. I voted in a district that had like a couple extra thousand votes cast for George W. Bush in it. Like I might have used one of those machines and had my vote flipped to George Bush.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it made me.
I mean, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way than the way we're doing it, I guess. It is a very weird thing that we do. We go in.
It's a lot of information.
I understand. But we feed it all into machines. And those machines should be able to just count it. But I do also understand that this election is special because of the mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
And I was just watching CNN. I was just watching them count those things. And that seems like a nightmare. That seems like it sucks shit.
Yeah.
And it's going to take days upon days upon days to get done. And we're kind of, this election is like,
We should have election day, and then we should have election results day.
you think so?
Yeah, I think December 3rd should be election results day, where they take a whole fucking month to figure out how many people actually fucking voted, and they can be sure of it.
I don't like a month, dude. I don't like a month. See, the reason they want them all done now, and the way that the president, the way that they're all freaking out about it is that they want them to stop counting the votes now. See, this is what's at the recording of this show, Donald Trump's trying to get him to stop counting votes right now.
Yeah, that did worry me. That was the thing that had my teeth chattering before the end of the night. Is I was getting work done, so I was down here on the computer answering emails. I was in Discord chatting with people a little bit. Then every half hour, I'd go in there, clap at the screen, figure out what the odds are, what the baseball numbers are, and but then I saw Donald Trump is going live at whatever midnight last night.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Yeah, and that's when he started saying I basically won. That's when he said we're contesting all of this, and then I was like, oh man, because this is the shitty timeline. Like that, this isn't the shittiest. Would be Donald Trump just overwhelmingly wins. But now we're in the awful situation where we have to rely on the Democrats to stop Donald Trump from just going, I'm just going to be the president again. Because that's what it's going to be. It's just, that's how he does it. Just waves his hands and it's like, I'm not going to argue about it anymore. Agree to disagree, but I'm the president.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what worries me because of living through 2000 and seeing what happened there, where it was like, hey, wait a minute. Al
Gore didn't even wait for it to be done. He was just kind of wanted things he just wanted to go along to get along.
We have to heal the nation.
Yes.
That's what I'm expecting from jumping Joe Biden, though, is we got to heal the nation. It's just hopefully Joe Biden says we got to heal the nation by me being the president. Because Trump is going to say we have to heal the nation, too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
His suggestion's going to be that he should be the president of the United States.
And I saw fucking jackass Joe Biden today saying, I'm not going to say we won Michigan. I'm just saying that when all the votes are counted, I think it's going to suggest we won Michigan. And I'm like, dude, you know who you're running against. Just go out there and say we won Michigan. Just beat them. Just go. What are you doing?
He should be pushing him to I think if there was a real opposition party to this guy, he would be pushing him to concede now. Republicans do that kind of shit. Oh, yeah. They'll just be like, you should concede. You lost. Right. Concede.
Right. And then, can you believe they're saying this? It's like, oh, that's all they're saying is concede. Oh, we can't do anything else except concede, I guess.
That's usually it works, and so that's usually the move. I can't believe the Democrats won't take one lesson from the Republicans, where it looks like Joe Biden probably won. Now, here's the other thing. I'm profoundly disappointed in the Joe Biden presidency.
You're what?
I'm very disappointed in the Joe
yeah.
Biden presidency so far.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly, he's a bad president already.
Yeah,
you
I thought he
know?
was going to come in and, change things quick.
It feels real good to vote for him in a way, because now I'm ready to just complain about him like,
Now we have it. We can say we voted for him. They can never blame it on us.
the minute I walked out of that booth, I was like, this Joe Biden thing's a shit show.
Yeah, I want my money back.
It's all fucked up. I'm voting third party in the next election. You know?
Yeah, I think, for me, that is the other side. So, if Trump doesn't just shoo away the people trying to get him out of office, and we go full Joe Biden presidency, that is a really shit situation.
Yeah.
Because they're going to take Black Lives Matter, they're going to drop that very quickly.
They're not going to drop it. Joe Biden is going to actively crush it.
Right.
You know,
But
and then we're not going to be able to do anything.
I think that from this election style, I've something about it is I've accepted that I'm unlikable. My opinions, my group, my politics are extremely unlikable, and everyone's going to fight us and hold us down, and that includes liberals, and they're the fucking worst. I mean, they're the biggest stumbling block to us achieving our goals.
Yeah, they tune out as soon as they get their way.
Right.
You know, as soon as Joe Biden's in office, it's time for them to tune out and read Harry Potter's new book, or I guess there's no more Harry Potter books, whatever they're into now.
Imaginary Beasts or something.
But yeah, something on Netflix, probably some Netflix thing,
Yes.
you know?
Some new young adult novel.
It did feel like after I voted for him, I was ready to complain immediately. Because I don't think he's going to do anything. I think he stinks. It's just like, I hope we get back on tour because of Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Like, if he even did that. And, the rumor, or he has said he might not even go for a re-election.
Oh, really?
So, we could have a primary in 4 years where we get really wrapped up in one person and then lose. Or the other thing that might happen is Trump could run again in 4 years, because he could actually do that if he wanted to, where we'd be fighting him again. It almost feels like, or Donald Trump Jr. runs for it's just, we're not rid of the Trumps.
No.
It's trying to figure out what the Trumps are going to do. In what capacity are we going to have to deal with them, even if he's not the president for 4 more years? Which it doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look like he's going to be. I don't want to say for sure, but it looks like it's all leaning towards Biden being the president.
Yeah.
What do we deal with them? Obviously, Trump TV,
Yeah.
right? Especially since Fox News did a heel turn on him. Did you hear about that?
I did hear.
Yeah.
He phoned Murdoch personally and asked for him to change the results or something.
Yeah. Who turned heel in that situation? I guess Trump turned.
Murdoch went heel.
Yeah, he went heel on Trump.
Because he's supposed to be Republican no matter what. He went to turn his back on the family. It's red until you're dead, right? Isn't that their thing?
Maybe he thought Trump was bad for Fox.
Red until everyone's dead.
What? Maybe he thought Trump was bad for Fox News. You
can never get him to admit it. Just I don't think you could ever get an honest answer on that.
But the Trump people are horrible, and probably were watching Newsmax. They've probably moved to more online type stuff than Fox News. They're trying to get back the Lincoln Project type Republicans. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like Fox News would probably rather have a Democrat in office, especially a Democrat like Joe Biden, who's not going to do any kind of liberal or left anything.
I just don't. I mean, the problem is that there wasn't a definitive crushing of Donald Trump, so there's no reason for them to change course.
Yeah.
I think more people are into this shit than ever before. It seems like.
So what happens? What are we doing now? What is I know in Michigan they're trying to stop the count. There was like this group of nerdy Republicans standing out. Did you see them?
Trying to storm the
Well, they're trying to live that fucking life.
Patriot.
That 2000
That 9 Lines life or whatever.
that year 2000 life. Remember? That's how they did it in 2000.
What?
Like a bunch of Republican like frat boy types like stormed the fucking where they were counting votes in Florida.
The Hanging Chads?
The Hanging Chads. Yes, the Hanging Chads. They just stormed it and made them stop counting.
What? I didn't remember that.
Yeah. Tom DeLay's boys or something. I don't know. But there was a bunch of these frat boy type big white dudes that went in and made them stop the count in Florida. And I think that's what they were thinking was going to happen.
It has a name.
What?
It's called the Brooks Brothers Riot.
That's right. That is right. The Brooks Brothers Riot.
Orchestrated by Roger Stone. Thank you, Ryan and McSerial in the chat for clarifying that.
Yeah, so that happened, and I think they are trying to... They kind of saw that happen, and they're trying to get another Brooks Brothers riot going on. But Republicans are such dorks now that like they can't riot.
Yeah, I do have to. I mean, everybody. The reason I wanted to vote in person is because I wanted to get massacred. Really, I mean, I was going there expecting for trucks full of AR-57 sauces. AR-15s.
It stands for Assault Rifle 15. I did hope to see something, but it wouldn't happen.
There's nothing. They aren't going to do anything. They're internet thugging. Everybody is internet thugs. Nobody has really bowed. I think the protesters that get out there and really do it, but those Trumpers don't even get out of their fucking trucks anymore. They just hang out in their car. They just drive around the freeway and waste gas and call it a parade or a rally. They can't. They'd have no actual balls or clit or whatever.
They don't have any clit. Yes,
Nothing.
That's for sure. They ain't got no pussy lips. I guess. I don't know. The way you said that, they don't do. I mean, there were probably isolated incidents in rural communities where a guy sat in his truck outside with a gun where everybody was voting for Trump anyway.
Yeah.
The problem is they don't go out of like their comfort zone. Like they like would never drive into the city to do something like that because they'd be terrified of what happens in the city. The truth is, I didn't see anything going on cross at all at the polling place. But they're claiming that a lot of it has been going on. So the Trump people are claiming all kinds of voter malfeasance is happening.
Well, and also, and I don't know. They are. You can't win with them. Like I just want to. I don't know. How do we get away from them? How can we keep them away from us and get them out of our lives? Like, I want to just be a full sovereign citizen now. I don't think that reforming the United States government is happening ever. I think we're just waiting for it to fall apart.
No.
And I'm not interested in anything anymore as far as like getting along with people or any. I'm just totally drawing my shades and saying fuck you to everybody else.
It was just vote and in order to like stop the bleeding, whatever, the COVID thing. The COVID thing is what made me vote. That was it. Like if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would have sat this one out. And you know what? In the end, I didn't even really have to vote because Ohio went to Trump anyway. That was a bummer too. That's one of those things.
I know.
It's like that's like when you're playing roulette and it hits black, but you bet red, but you were thinking about betting black before you bet red. You know what I mean? Where it's like, because I probably wouldn't have voted. And then I was like, well, you never know.
Well, that's what I said to Erica, because after I messed the thing up, I was like, the next day I woke up and I was like, you know what? Katie said she wasn't going to vote, and then she turned out voting, so I'm going to take her no vote spot. Like, I'm just going to take her spot, and then everything will still be even based upon the way I made my decision on whether or not I was going to vote. You know, like, one of us has to abstain.
Yeah.
So I want to do that.
Katie was kind of canceling votes. That was her philosophy for voting, and that was why she wanted me to vote. And she sat on the couch last night and talked about, okay, Brett voted, so that canceled this person's vote. I voted, so that canceled this person's vote. Like, she was just trying to cancel votes.
Right.
You know, she was very pragmatically like, if me and Brian vote, then we cancel out my mom and dad's vote.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to, like, I know that, like, once we start just speaking in generalities, we start glossing over stuff. Like, Portland has seen a crazy violence this year, and, you know, that's a completely different situation. I think for me, it's just that you realize how mundane this is all going to be until forever. Until it's not, I guess. Until the you know, climate change. But it's all just going to be this mild thing. There's not going to be like an uprising of fucking Proud Boys that is going to kick off a civil war. Nobody cares enough or has the energy to do that.
It's going to be
on the right or the left. The left isn't going to get the guts to fucking take over either.
It's going to be what's happening in Oregon, just more places over and over again.
Right.
It's going to be clashes between factions of people, I think, from here on out. And I also think that, like, who fucking knows once this thing is called? Here's what we know. We know if Biden ends up being president, that it will be quiet. The Trump people don't, like you said, they don't even get out of their cars.
Yeah.
And they could end up causing trouble at like the inauguration or something like that. But even then, you know, they probably will do a Zoom inauguration sort of thing. So that's not even going to happen. Okay.
Good point.
If Trump wins, somehow he is the guy. I mean, there's going to be unrest. I'm sure of it. And I'm sure that people are he's going to hold an inauguration. And people are going to go to the inauguration again.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to go to the inauguration again. And that I could see resulting in some pretty nasty shit. And who knows what ends up happening after that. If he steals this thing, if it's perceived that he has stolen it or not given it up, things could get weird.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, and that's the thing too. I mean, just the liberals that are not willing to go, the liberals that aren't even willing to go a little further more left, aren't willing to be more radical. You know, the ones that are still sitting at home and just being like, oh, gee whiz, I hope the court stop this. It's like, will that be enough to break them to put their bodies on the line? You know? I mean, we have the people to do it. We have the support. I mean, I think it's there.
Their bodies will have to be forced onto the line. If they go out to protest, then their body's on the line. If they're there and we're all protesting stuff like we did early in the Trump presidency, then their body is on the line because they're there. I mean, they might, you know, jump between you and the police or something like that. But I think that the biggest fear that I have is like, it's more of an unknown. We're just in such a, we're in an unknown time, and I don't exactly know, obviously we're recording this on Wednesday night. We don't know who the fucking president is. We don't know who's won. We don't know what kind of stuff has happened. It feels very calm right now. But I think it feels very calm right now because nobody knows anything yet.
Sure.
And everybody's retreated to their bubbles.
Right.
And are currently feel like they're winning.
Everybody's tallying. Everybody's doing a lot of tallying right now.
Yeah. Everybody feels like they've won. When really they didn't. We don't know who's won yet. I don't know that Joe Biden's the president. That seems to be the way that the news is claiming. But fuck, dude. Like you said, he can say I'm out. I don't want to. I didn't lose. I didn't lose, and I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. That does seem less likely as we go, because you would have thought he would have made his big strongman speech. I think now it feels like more like he's gonna sulk away. That the official result comes in. It's called. He fucking is just like, I know I won. I'm not gonna congratulate him. I'm not gonna give but he's got to leave. Yeah. Because as a lot of people have said, like the Secret Service doesn't work for Donald Trump.
Yes.
But we'll see though. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
we don't fucking know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's all a dice roll.
Yeah. I mean, are you seeing like a lot of the fact check stuff? All the social media companies are covering rumors now.
I know it's that was another thing. Is that to watch that Donald Trump video, I had to click through on like a Surgeon General warning that the content inside was bad for my health. They basically, just said that, and it happens on Instagram and all of it. People just share these. I was looking at, there's an old conservative buddy of mine, and I was looking at his page, and everything he shared was just covered for being sketchy information, Yeah. Didn't really stop him, but.
Because that's what I'm seeing. I got the Snopes rumor alert. Biden did not receive 100% of 128,000 new votes in Michigan. So that's one that's going around.
Come on. Like, who would steal an election being like, you're not going to believe it, but every new vote in Michigan goes to Joe Biden?
Yeah.
And that was what he said last night, too, immediately, was just like, how are all these mail-in ballots going all for Joe Biden? And it's like, because these people are afraid of COVID. More people that are fucking afraid of COVID mailed in their ballots this year,
Yeah. Yeah, the Democrats are afraid of COVID more than anything. More than the Republicans, for sure. So that one Trump retweeted and said, "What's up with this?"
Hey, shit.
So, I mean...
He did the chin rubbing emoji. Sorry.
Okay. No. Wisconsin did not count more votes than there are voters.
That was a good one.
In 2020.
I saw that.
Which is a new...
Screenshot. There was a screenshot of 2016 versus 2018 or something.
Let's take a look-see. Okay. It's a tweet, and it's a screenshot from Mike Cordry. Cordry? Cowdrey? Wisconsin has more votes than people who are registered to vote. Total number of registered voters... Total number of votes cast. This is direct evidence of fraud. Now, a thing that gives me great joy is these sleuths that are out there that are lying. I mean, they've done the Trump side has done some truly shady, nasty shit, because this tweet is a Trump person doing a lie.
Yeah,
a fucking lie. He's just lying,
saying what they want to hear. What. Giving people the proof that they need.
Right.
That the Trump needs.
He's just a liar. He just is being a liar. And did you see the thing earlier in the week?
But that's what wins. That's how Trump...
That's true.
Trump's thing is that it's just enough people believe this shit. Enough people believe Hillary Clinton is taking fucking... pineal glands out of little kids' heads.
That's true, though, that they do that, though.
That's also
to
true.
get adrenochrome.
Yes.
We fucking know that. The AFP I like the fact checking though. Another post that is going around famously today is our buddies at Minion Death Cult are kind of they're kind of keeping us up to date on what's going on, but the big one now is, remember that feeling you got when the second plane hit the Twin Towers and you realized what was going on? You should have that same feeling again right now.
Oh no. Joe Biden narrowly stole the election.
You know what I should say to Republicans? I have that feeling all day, every day. I have that second plane hit the Twin Towers feeling every minute of every day of my whole life.
No, I mean, that's it. You're right. That's the feeling. That describes the feeling every day when I wake up. Immediately. And I've explained this to therapists. I've explained this to my wife. It has nothing to do with them. It just has to do with waking up and realizing how fucking brutal and careless our fucking world is. You know, how backwards and stupid and careless and unkind it is, you know?
For sure. And it's just that kind of thing. I don't know. It's these people are so freaked about 9/11 still, which is what Trump, Trump people feel 9/11 harder than most of us feel 9/11. You know what I mean?
More personal connection.
They have a more, not because they're from New York or anything, but just because they think about it every single day for their whole life.
Yes.
I'm going to look at the trends real quick and we'll wrap up our post-election episode of Street Fight. It looks as though the Detroit nerds have not been able to stop the count. We don't know who the president is. And, Metallica.
S&M 2 coming. They're doing a live stream of it, right?
Yeah.
Or that was free.
Well,
They have the new acoustic sets coming in November of this month.
This is the also the anniversary of Master of Puppets coming out. Was the anniversary of it certified gold, actually.
Wow.
It was certified gold on this day in 1986 with, no help from anything. I was just scrolling through. But hey, look, I'm not optimistic about anything. Here's the thing. I'm not optimistic about Donald Trump still not being president. I am not optimistic because Joe Biden might be the president. I'm not optimistic that anybody's going to get COVID under control. I am optimistic, however, that me and Brett will be back here on Sunday. And I'm also optimistic that I will be able to complain about stuff forever.
Yeah.
I think,
It's a trip, man. Life's a trip. It really is. I don't want to be too weed guy about it, but these types of things are remarkable and interesting and unique, and you're only going to get to do it one fucking time. So really enjoy the absurdity of the whole fucking thing.
I mean, we started this show with a Democrat as the president, and it felt like we were screaming into the void. We've gained considerable power since that period of time, and I don't think it'll feel like we're screaming into the void anymore.
I think you're right.
You know what I mean?
I think we are going to have a bully position. They hate us. The Bernie bro thing stuck. They don't like any of us and what we have to say, but it is working in smaller elections. Some candidates, DSA type candidates, are making headway, and there is an entire fucking media sector now that revolves around us and our stuff and the whole ecosystem of this entertainment cycle. So I mean, it's a big community that did not exist. You're right. When Obama was in there and we started, there was nothing like this happening.
Making fun of Democrats is fun too.
Oh, they're great.
They're really fun to make fun.
They're so corny and easy, and they get their feelings hurt quickly, and they're just embarrassing as hell.
Oh, I know. The Trump people are embarrassing for some reasons, like they're into like bad music and movies and TV and stuff. The Democrat types are just like, see, the thing about them is they think that they're geniuses. And I think that's where I get off on like making fun of the people that are very heavy pro Biden people who are going to be like, finally, with dignity and honor, like that kind of stuff. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
That's, you can't form a dirtbag union up against Donald Trump. He's a dirtbag. You piece of garbage.
Yeah.
He's a piece of garbage. That guy.
Right.
But you can be a dirtbag compared to Joe Biden, who's also a piece of garbage, actually. His son parties hard, though. We're going to get to hear a lot over this 4 years about Hunter Biden. Tony Bobulinski will probably make a few more appearances, is my hope. I like his name, and I'd like to hear from more Tony Bobulinski. We're not going to the inauguration if Biden's president because it's the fucking point. You know what I mean?
Could be good.
What would be good?
I mean, if we prepare.
That motherfucker's probably doing it on Zoom.
You're right.
He's probably going to be in his car with a mask on doing it on Zoom.
I mean, the thing about it is that like the Republicans had an absolute point when they showed you those Joe Biden rallies and it was a half dozen people standing around with their hands in their pockets. No one gave a flying fuck about that guy.
God, dude, it's a goddamn miracle if he wins. Really, with the amount of people that didn't care about him. It is really like a jobber winning.
Yeah.
I mean, to beat an incumbent and be a guy that, like, how bad the incumbent has to be to lose to someone the likes of a Joe Biden,
Yeah.
Pathetic. Well, that's the Street Fight post-election show. We'll get back to regularly scheduled shit next week. Do the thing, Brett.
Oh, you did a good job. Oh. We'll see you on Sunday. We're taking calls 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. Peace.